And I said this on the air when you came there. I said, I don't know how this is going to work. It's a bunch of kids. They're immature. Javale McGee's got a big personality. And you were actually the shock of the season. I thought you had a great year. You were very formidable. And it's the first time the home team where I lived, you were on the home team. Mm-hmm. It's funny, Javale, you got a reputation early, kind of fun, kind of crazy, kind of flaky. And then I watch you with the Warriors and the Lakers. That's not reality. Does it bother you at times that the perception of you early isn't reality this morning?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, so when I came into the league, the things that kids are doing now, I was doing to where, like, using social media a lot. So, but when I came into the league, GMs and we're looking at it like, you're not focused. Like, why are you using Instagram? Why are you using Twitter? Like, get off of there. Stop making videos, putting them on YouTube and things like that. Now, when I went to the Warriors, PR is like, you need to post more on Twitter. You need to post more. And, like, it's good for feedback. So, like, it's just a whole different aspect. And I guess I was sort of ahead of my time, I guess. So it gave me a perception like I'm not serious about basketball or I'm not focused. And it really, like, messed up the character that I had that people really perceived me as.
But the Golden State Warriors didn't listen. They said, we like you. They brought you in. What did you help them with, and what did they help you with as a player?
Truthfully, I helped them with, I feel like, rim protection, if anything, and just having a big that's willing to do the dirty work and run the floor. And
you run the floor well.
I run the floor very well. Not worried about minutes, just being able to do whatever it takes to win. And they helped me with just realizing, like, going to the Warriors, like, probably first day at the Warriors, my perception was going to be like, okay, well, they're champions. It's probably tight-knit. I probably have to be like, I'm in the Army. It was probably one of the most relaxed environments I've ever been in. I've been on multiple teams. It was the most relaxed. And I've been in practice like, is this okay? Like, Steph's shooting a half-court shot every time we stretch. Like, this is crazy. But it was just so relaxed, and it just showed me, like, just be a champion. Like, you don't have to be uptight and everything. It's real hard work, though. I don't want to take that perception away. It was hard work.
Yeah.
But we have fun playing hard.
It's interesting because in the media, we hear a lot. Kevin Durant's going to leave, and I've said, listen, man, if I was his agent, A, I don't want him taking less. I don't want my players taking less. Secondly, it's a Ritz-Carlton. Like, everybody likes everybody. Mm-hmm. I don't trust the Knicks and their ownership. And to me, you can't overcome bad ownership. In my career doing this, I've been incredibly lucky. I've had one bad owner, and you can't overcome it. I've had 4 great owners, one I didn't like. And in the end, if you were KD's agent, what would you tell him?
I mean, first of all, if I was KD's agent, I would tell KD to do what he wants to do because it's his life. You know what I'm saying? He has to live with his decision. So wherever he wants to go, whatever money he wants to take, then that's his decision to do. I wouldn't be that guy who's like, you should go here, you here. I would definitely weigh out the options, lay them out, tell him everything that's positive and negative, all the pros and cons. But other than that, it's his decision.
Now, what about Charles Barkley? New York's going to eat him up.
So I heard what he said about that, and that he wouldn't be able to survive out there. But in my opinion, if Charles Barkley grew up in the era of social media and he could respond to the things that people were saying about him when he would do the same thing. Like, if someone said on Twitter, you're this, you're that, you're going to be like, okay, 1,000 people have said it. I'm responding to this one just every now and then. But I feel like the media portrays it as like, oh, he's sensitive. No, like, we live in a world where information is just so fast and we see everything. When Charles Barkley was playing, like, you would have to wait till the morning newspaper came out to hear somebody talk stuff about you. So it's a totally different aspect. I don't take that as being sensitive or not being able to handle it.
How does Steph, I find it fascinating because Steph is such a unique superstar. You know, goes home, married, kids, quiet, don't hear stuff, and recruits Kevin Durant. Take me behind the scenes. What's the secret sauce with Steph?
Steph is one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. And just think of the superstardom that he's at. He doesn't have to be that nice, but he's extremely nice, maybe too nice. Like, he's one of the nicest guys I've ever met in my life. And to be the superstar status that he's at, to do the things that he does on the court, off the court also, the family man he is pretty impressive.
They're the best third-quarter team in league history. And we were talking about this yesterday. They're a little like the New England Patriots. They don't play well early in Super Bowls. They always play great after halftime. You've been in for 2 championships. You have been on this Warrior team, Javale McGee joining us. and trailed at half, struggled. And then the Warriors go in for 15 minutes, and it's magic. It's David Copperfield. It's Chris Angel. You're making stuff elevate. You've been in that halftime session. Is it intense, loud? Like, what happens?
It's not necessarily intense. I mean, coming from Draymond is loud, but it's intentional. The first half, it seems like you, as a championship team, you have the confidence of, okay, we're going to win. Sometimes they would take people for granted, and then in the second half, they're like, okay, they came out, they hit us in the mouth. Now it's time to turn it up, and that's all it really was. Like, okay, third quarter action, we know what we do, we know what we have. Let's step it up, and that's how it will work out.
I want to shift now to the Lakers. It was a weird year. It was a weird combination. So LeBron historically has played well with shooters. And LeBron tends to play well with veterans. He's a smart dude. So you got a LeBron guy who plays well with veterans, plays well with shooters. Well, he goes to the Lakers, and it's a bunch of kids, and then it's mostly guys who aren't known as great shooters. Rondo's a good player, not a shooter. Lance, a good athlete, not a shooter. It never felt kind of perfect, but you were on the roster. The trade stuff happens, all these rumors. And there's stories, JaVale, that it's freaking the kids out, which I get. If you told me tomorrow my name's in the paper, I'm being shipped to, whatever. How chaotic was it? Like, how hard was it on the kids to read in the papers and on Bleacher Report, yeah, you're all getting shipped out of town?
First of all, they didn't read in the papers. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Internet, maybe.
Internet, all social media. But, I mean, so I've been traded before, and the first time I got traded, the first day that I'm hearing all this information, and this is the social media age, I'm like, dang, like it's terrifying. Like, you're like, okay, I'm leaving my home. I have all my stuff, all my family, everything I know here. Like, it really shake you up if this is your first time hearing it, especially as a young guy. But I mean, if you've been traded before, you're like, okay, it's a part of the business. You learn it as a part of the business. But these are young guys. These guys, and they're in L.A. Like, you got to think, okay, this is my livelihood. I'm in beautiful L.A. and I'll be shipped somewhere else, which isn't L.A. So, I mean, of course, I'll be a little shook, but I mean, that's natural for anybody who's their first time going to be traded or hearing serious reports that they're going to be traded.
So you freaked out a little bit?
Yeah, the first time I got traded, I was freaked out. But after that, you're just like, it's a business, and that's all it really is. So you have to be a professional about it.
So LeBron gets hurt, and I'd never seen an injury. I've said this for years, JaVale. One of the most amazing things about LeBron, the second chapter of his book, the first chapter is that dude may be the best player ever. The second chapter is his body. Like, Michael Jordan broke a leg, missed a year. Stockton did. Everybody gets hurt except LeBron.
Yeah.
So when LeBron faced his first career injury, what was he like? I mean, that's daunting. Talk about trade. How was LeBron?
I mean, surprisingly, he was lighthearted, extremely lighthearted. I mean, he really doesn't have anything to worry about, really. I mean, his contract's fine. He's there for a lot of years. There isn't really anything to worry about. But just the way that he came back and the way that he was working in that time that he was injured was truly amazing. And I mean, truthfully, the fact that he got hurt, Lonzo got hurt, players got in fights, so that suspended. Our starting five really only had like 10 games, and that's exaggerating without actually knowing the actual being together and being able to get our chemistry. This is our first year together. Like, we should at least be able. We never got a chance to get our chemistry together. Everybody got hurt at once. I got pneumonia. Like, everything happened to this team on the injury side, and then they tried to play it like it's all this other stuff. No, we got injured. Like, everybody.
You've played with LeBron, Durant, Clay, Steph, Draymond. I'm looking at the teams you've played with here. Dirk.
Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert Arenas. Okay, so of all the stars, you've played, they're all different cats, right? The player that I find fascinating in this league, he literally becomes double the player as Draymond Green. So Draymond in the regular season goes 7-7-7. And then I'm watching him in the playoffs, and JaVale, there are games, I think he's the best player on the floor along with Kawhi.
Mm-hmm.
Take me into Draymond. Like, analytics don't even work for him. He literally puts on a cape in like May and June. Take me behind the scenes on, again, the secret sauce on Draymond, because I think he's going to have a chance to be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, definitely. The focus that Draymond puts into every game, the studying, the things that he knows about other players or games. You'll play against a player and he'll be like, and be like, oh, what does he do? Draymond will come out of nowhere. Oh yeah, he's probably left hand. He's a left. He's gonna shoot over the left shoulder, and if he doesn't do that, he's gonna come back with a pump fake. So watch out for that. Like, he knows everything about every player. He studies the game extreme. Like,
and on his own. I mean,
on his own. There isn't like you have to do this. Like, that's just his thing. He loves basketball, and you can just tell it, and you can see it in this game also.
By the way, celebrity softball game. This is June 22nd. Javale's Jug Life Foundation brings safe and clean water to underdeveloped areas around the world. By the way, you grew up in Flint, Michigan.
I did.
So this is a very personal thing for you. Jug Life also spreads the message of how important water is for healthy and active lifestyles. Team Javale versus Team Lonzo Ball. You know, LeVar was on yesterday. I keep bringing LeVar on because I think he's done a pretty good job with his sons, and he's a little crazy, and there's a lot of nonsense. But yesterday he answered all the questions. He never ducks a question. Do you think there's ever a little pressure on Lonzo because Dad's public? A little bit, do you feel?
Maybe it's a little pressure, but the thing that surprised me is how everybody's on LeVar for being a sports dad. Like, if like, that's my son. Like, the way that he's in his son's lives, in his kids' lives, especially as a black man, is amazing. Like, he's there every game, like, focused, like he has his kids back and nothing else. Like, it's pretty impressive. He says a lot of things. I mean, of course, Lonzo probably doesn't like everything he says, but in my opinion, I mean, he's a great dad, if anything.
Lonzo struggled with his health. Do you buy into Lonzo long term as a player?
Oh yes. Just seeing the focus. Like, okay, so when people get injured, they tend to have a go down in spirit. But he had a great spirit this whole time that he's been injured. He's in there every day working in the weight room. It's coming from a person who's behind the scenes, sees it all. He's training. He hasn't missed a training session. Like, you get fined for things like
stars leave. There's a